Good Friday morning, everybody. Advances. It's a vibe today. It's a whole entire vibe. I got some new music playing from our music producer, Isaiah. I've been over here just vibing this morning, getting ready to go. Are y'all ready to go? I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit because I'll start vibing too much. I'll start really... No, I can't do all of that. I can't do all of that today. Not today. Man, the music from Isaiah is incredible. Y'all check him out for sure. But hey, you know what time it is. It is time for Tarris and new friends this morning. I got some new friends. I got some people I'm about to bring to the stage right now. I got some old and new friends. Let me say that. First person I'm bringing to the stage is Billy. I call him Willie, but y'all can call him Billy. He's also the Viking tradesman. I'm gonna bring you on up, Billy. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. I was sitting here just jamming too. I was like, this music, man, I can listen to this all morning. yeah, man. I've been rocking since like 6:30 this morning. Next up, we have a familiar face. You guys saw her yesterday. She's the international prophetess herself. We got prophetess Tisha. I already see her face before I bring her up. Good morning.
Good morning. It says I'm going to get you, but you got it vibing this morning.
Yeah. Hey, see?
It kind of put you in that groove while I was looking at the charts. I'm like, all right, like it's just, just
the music reminds me like when you go shopping and they turn on certain music to try to get you to shop. This, you might want to turn it down some. You might be muting us today. You might do a Tim.
Hey, this is my trade music. This is trading music this morning.
This is a good vibe.
If they had this music in elevators, that elevator ride would be a lot more fun.
You're right. You're right. Hey, so Tisha, you're an old friend, but you're a new friend as well. You haven't really done analysis live on the chart, so this is a good opportunity for you, isn't it?
Yes, I'm excited. You got to just jump in sometimes.
Yeah.
You learn behind. I'm a hands-on learner. I'm learning with friends. What's a better place than doing with that, And so, encourage other people that if you do have another opportunity, that they will come on, join you as part of your friend circle, and just be available, just be vulnerable. Allow the Holy Spirit to teach us.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Taking that first step and actually volunteering and doing it. That's all God required was that first step.
Yes.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you being here. Next up, man, this is truly a new friend. So my guy joined the group and he has been killing it so far. He's going through all of our training modules. He's asking the right questions. He's even making money already in the chart. So he's killing it right now. I'm going to bring up Corey the Scalper. Corey,
hey, how's everybody doing? I'm ready.
Yeah, you got a little fuzz on your face. That's going to be your signature right there.
Yeah, I can't clear it.
It looks like the Holy Spirit.
That's the Holy Spirit.
I need him this morning.
We're glad to have you. You'll have an opportunity to analyze charts as well. We got one more person who is trying to drop out, but I'm not going to let her drop out because I need her here this morning. She's one of my favorite people in the world. It's Denise King, the scalping queen. She's here with us this morning. Hey, Denise.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I saw you.
I'm like with the rest of everybody else. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isaiah, you did your thing on this music.
So I've been holding this track back. I hadn't uploaded it, and this is the perfect time to pull it out.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a party this morning. So
Yeah.
we got that, but we got a full crew. We do have news this morning in about 22 minutes, and so we're gonna put up our disclaimer first, and then we'll get into what the news is, and then we'll get into analyzing the charts and looking at some setup. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Chat, are y'all ready? Y'all gotta talk to me. Y'all gotta talk. If y'all don't say y'all ready, then we're not gonna move forward. Okay, we getting a couple responses.
I think everybody's just digging the music.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Nice.
it's
Everybody
time
was
to go.
sleeping in a little bit.
All right, take a moment. Look at our disclaimer. Trading does involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all individuals. Any live streaming of trading activities is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The content provided is not intended as financial advice, should not be construed as such. Viewers are encouraged to conduct their own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. The host or the hosts of this live stream do not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, and reliability of any information presented. And we shall not be held liable for any losses incurred as a result of trading decisions made based on content of the stream. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Viewers, TV land, participate in trading activities at their own risk. Y'all get that? Y'all got it? All right. It's time. It's time to go. It is time to go. So I am going to initially share my screen, and then we'll give everyone on here an opportunity to share, and we'll go from there. Let's go.
One of the things I think that's important to say too is that NFP Friday can be a crazy day. So if you're not used to trading it, it's probably wise to sit on the sideline and just watch how nutso it can get, just to see it. Because yeah, you can make a lot of money on a day like today, but you can lose a lot of money too because of how the markets just go. So just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that's new.
Yeah, you got there before me, Billy. You got there before me.
All right.
I was definitely going to bring that up. But all right, so we've had news all week. Now, this is really the big news that we've been waiting for all week. Everything really sets up for today. And if we look at Forex Factory, we will see at 7:30. There's a couple things that are going on. There's some CAD news, but we're going to focus specifically on NFT. So really what it is the change in the number of employed people during the previous month. That's excluding the farming industry. So actual effect or usual effect you'll see is actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So if our numbers come out greater than what's forecasted, that's good for the currency. Now, when it's good for the currency and that causes the U.S. dollar to go up, we know the adverse effect of that. We'll have metals, we'll have indices that will go down. And so it's literally like a seesaw. Currency goes up, value of indices and metals go down. And so at that point, we can really start looking for shorts. And so, or vice versa. So this is released typically the first Friday of every month. And so this is the first NFT Friday. Billy said it accurately. He came through with it. Like, we've had some really good months or really good NFT Fridays, and I've had some where I just said, all right, I don't know what I'm doing because the market will do anything it wants to do. It will literally do anything that it wants to do. And so this should be a fun ride. Like I said, there's also some CAD news, employment change, unemployment rate that'll be coming out at the same time. We've got other USD news. Average hourly earnings month to month is coming out same time. Unemployment rate is coming out at the same time. So there is a lot, all at 7:30 this morning. We'll put that out there. There's a lot, and so that means the markets can do whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do. So cool. That makes sense to you guys? Any questions, Corey?
Not yet.
Not yet? All right. Awesome. Well, I am going to take a look at the DXY. The DXY is the US dollar. And so we take a look at it every morning, to see where the US dollar is sitting right now. We'll mark out potential levels. If you can see my screen, you'll see I've already got levels marked out specifically on the 4 hour. And so right now, from yesterday to today, we have found some support at this level right here, which is also at the 4 hour 800. So we've seen it just ranging in this small area right here. But what we want to think about is what if news comes out good for the US dollar? Will this area of support hold? If it comes out bad, let me say that. If news comes out bad, will this area of support hold? Or will this area of resistance hold? And so we've got a couple levels marked out. So US dollar, if the news is great, we're going to push up, test this area. If the news isn't really good, we're going to push down and we're going to look for the next potential area that it could find some support. And so looking a little further back, looking left for another level of support, resistance, we find this area right here. And I'm actually going to draw it out for you guys. I know some people will like to do little lines. I like to do zones more than lines. But this area right here, potentially, if the US dollar goes down, this is the next potential level that we could be going to. And while it's going down, if that happens, we could potentially look for buys on indices. And we already have some levels marked up further right here and right here. Denise, anything to add to that DXY analysis?
Not really. It's just like at that critical point, waiting for news. Really.
Yep. Yeah. It's just sitting there. And when news comes out, we will get some movement for sure. And so we'll be kind of flipping back and forth from DXY to whatever we're looking at trading. Speaking of trading, Billy, I know you've been doing some analysis this morning. But I'm actually not going to go to you first.
I was hoping that you would not, because I want to hear from some of the newcomers, and I was going to give Corey and Tisha a chance.
Yeah, we've got Corey. Corey, I want to give you an opportunity to share your screen, and whatever you're looking at. What instruments do you normally look at?
Am I on now, or can you see me, or I got to share? I got to present.
Yeah, you can present.
Okay.
I'm so excited about this.
Me too, Terry.
All right, share screen.
This is like getting ready for graduation, okay?
All right, this is going to get interesting. Okay, now. What?
So when you hit present, you're gonna have to okay it, and then it'll give you an option of what screen to share.
Okay, I want to share 4. All right, let's see.
Right, so you click on that. You click on that, and then I will. Right. Here we go. The screen is shared. Everyone.
All right, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Now, keep in mind, I'm in probably kindergarten in this, so bear with me. All right.
This is how you learn, bro. This is how you
Yeah.
learn. We just got to throw you in the deep end.
Basically, this is what I do. So I made a list of my go-tos, and then I made a list of my maybes. I really don't deal with my maybes unless my go-tos are really flat. So I look at let's see, the micro NASDAQ, the mini NASDAQ. Let's see here, the Dow Jones, the micro Dow Jones, the dollar, platinum, and gold. Those are what I mostly look at. So what I look at first, I'm attempting to add in all of the confluences and things that you guys look at, but it really slows me down. So I add them, but I'm like taking baby steps at adding them.
Yep.
So the main thing that I look at is, for each one I go through, I look at the volume at the bottom to see how much volume is going on. Like if I go to the dollar has some fluctuation in the volume. So I may look at that probably later on. But like I see even platinum got some volume. But
and we're gonna have
what I really like on the NASDAQs is the big spikes in the volume. So that's why I'm going to stick with this one.
Yeah.
So did you want to say something?
Real quick. So we're going to have a lot of volume in the market. There's going to be a lot of volume. But as far as your chart analysis, are you starting top down? How are you doing? Let's take NAS for example. How would you analyze NAS right now?
Okay, so I start off at the hour, and then I look at a trade line to where I can see some resistances and some a point where it's going up. I can't remember the term. Now I know that we're supposed to use the trade bars. I mean the lines that go across, but I'm really too slow at that. So what I really use is the alert line, and then I can see what's bouncing off of that. So I go down here to the bottom, and then I look at the patterns going back, and I can see basically the pattern. Now, what helped me too is changing the SMA 1 to 9, because I can really see what it's doing. Okay. And then I can see like in this area here, how far away from the 9 that is going, and then I know that's where I can get some pretty good movement. And what I look at too is,
how long have you been trading, Corey?
Oh gosh, for a few weeks.
For a few weeks. All right, so Corey's been trading for a few weeks, and I just want to put that out there for everyone. He's been trading for a few weeks, and he's coming up with his own analysis, his own trading plan. Now, Corey, I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Support and resistance. If you're looking at this 1 hour chart,
okay,
do you mark out your levels of support and resistance? I don't see anything marked out.
Okay, so that's the term that I meant to say. So I normally try, like you all, to grab let's see, where is it here? Grab the rectangle to try to mark that out, but I'm too slow at removing it so I can see. So what I do until I get up that level is I use the alert to see where I can place it, to see where I can see the support and resistance, and that way I can move it out the way so I can see.
Yeah.
But what I really use is the MACD. Okay. So what I notice is when I have these gap areas here, how far away from the MACD is from the signal, then I know that I'm gonna get some pretty good movement in that area. And when it as soon as it crosses, then I know it's going to be a change. Now, I do have the indicators to tell me when to buy and sell, but I don't trust it. I always wait a minute to see where the MACD and the signal is going to cross, and then I make sure that when it does cross, it's going to have enough separation room to where it's really going to either climb up and go long, or either go down and be short. So that's really how I look at it. Now, another thing I know that has caught me too is how fast the RSI is going. If it's moving really, really fast, then I know I gotta really slow down and wait, because it's going to change real fast on me.
Yeah.
So,
and that Tim said it best in the chat. For you to be only trading 2 weeks, I see that you're grasping the concepts. Definitely grasping the concepts. Keep asking questions. For sure, you'll develop your own trading plan. You'll trade like us a little bit, but you'll have some little nuances. The dope thing is there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, like, you'll see different people in the group trade a little different. Like, we have overall same.
Right now it's a lot different.
Yeah.
It's like growth.
Yeah, but you'll have the same concept, but you'll do things just a little different. So this is good to see how you're looking at things, and we'll continue to give feedback. I know we've got 5 minutes until news. I want to give Tisha an opportunity before news comes out. I want to see how she's looking at the charts. And honestly, we probably should have started this maybe a little sooner so we can dig a little deeper, because news is quickly approaching. But Tisha.
Yes, I will be quick. I will be very quick. I'm looking at gold.
Okay.
We're looking at gold. Oh, share my screen. Let's start there.
Yep, go ahead and share that.
Present. Share screen.
As Tisha said in the comments, Corey, you are a true advancer. You absolutely are.
Oh, goodness. This is not. Let's see here. Try this again. Oh, there we go. There we go. Here's my screen here. So when I try to do my analysis, I start on the daily, try to look for the overall trend of what gold or that instrument is doing. I start at price, see where price is at, and ask myself, where do I think it's going to go? Looking for support and resistance around that immediate, where price action is at right now. And then I slowly start moving down the time frames. And so here we see.
So let's do that with US 30. Yep.
Oh, am I in US 30? Oh, but she wants to go to US. Oh, I thought I was on gold. Forgot to switch it. Never mind.
Okay, let's go with gold. And let's see what you're thinking potentially for NFP.
So we have gold here, moving down to the hour. If NFP is positive, gold will drop down to this first level of support.
Okay.
Breaking this trend line here. If NFP is negative, I believe that it'll move up to this level of support. You can see a shark fin is starting to form down here. It's consistent across the different timelines.
Time frame confluence.
Frames. There we go. Time frame conformances. However, on the lower ones, it's starting to get, the bands are really tight and it's a little bit different. Go back here.
Now, and Tisha, how long have you been trading now?
So I've been part of the group for about a year now. I wasn't like the advancer Corey. I didn't jump in right away. I was on the sidelines watching, and we had to go through the learning curve of Forex. Forex, and now that we're on the futures, I got to jump in. I got to jump in and quickly. And so, for about a year now. So I feel like I just started. I'm starting to get my own groove now.
But I see your analysis. I like where you started. And so if we're looking at just gold, you got your levels marked out. potential levels for this news coming out. Any trade ideas you would have for gold for a couple scenarios? So let's just say gold dips down. What are you looking at if gold dips down?
If gold dips down, the next level of support, so it will come down here. That would be a good place for two things, right? When I look at this, right, I believe entry can also be on the trend line. So we see that it's approaching a trend line here. So that would be a good place to enter and take it to the downside.
Okay.
However, if there was no news and I was just looking at this based off of the TDI and NFP was negative and gold was to go up, I would take it to the upside here.
Okay. I like that. I definitely like that. We do have 20 seconds until news. And so a lot of times with NFP, we're going to see the market start to move a little before news comes out. And it may move in a direction, but we are right there at news. Now, this is not saying you have to trade. But let's just take a look at gold. And we can leave your screen up and see, because news just came out. Let's see how it moves.
Already dropping.
Yep.
You should take a look at NAS. There's a huge 1 minute candle on here. Like, thing.
Yeah. We can leave your screen up.
You want me to go to a different instrument?
Yeah, if you can look at NAS.
I don't even know if I have NAS on here. Let's see here.
Or US 30 did the
or
same
US
thing.
30. Yeah,
Oh, US 30?
Yeah.
This is the June contract. This is the, oh, there we go.
Yeah. So if you go to the 1 minute on US 30, what you guys will see was a huge move down initially. Now, sometimes with news, you will get what's called a sugar spike. You'll get a fake out, and so you'll get an initial drop, but that may not be the actual move. Now, Billy and Denise, I'm sure
it's the manipulation that Tim was talking about.
Exactly. Billy and Denise, you guys can attest to that, correct?
Oh yeah.
How do you know if that's one buyer doing a big buy or versus a multiple of people? Is there a way to know?
No, there's no way to know, and really, it doesn't matter.
Speaking of that manipulation piece, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's never going to be one person doing that. One person can't move the market.
But isn't it like if you have like a Bill Gates or one of those big guys, they got a ton of money, you know what I mean? Can they do that?
But you're still looking at like a trillion dollar.
Oh, okay.
Items. So they're not going to be. I don't care how much money they have. It's still not going to be able to move the market like that. It takes, it's going to take many multiples to be able to do that. Then sometimes we, in the past when we were doing Forex, you look at governments like China, Japan, making market moves to kind of regulate their own, but that's a whole country, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And if we take a look at DXY, and I can actually share my screen, Tisha.
What it was too, so real quick, the news, the hourly earnings came out positive. The non-farm employment change came out positive, and the unemployment rate was negative. Not by much, though. It was forecasted at 3.9%. It came out at 4%. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but we had those two positive ones, which I think is going to outweigh that negative because it wasn't negative by that much. And so that's why we saw that initial drop on everything. Because of that positive news for the dollar, it just drove those indices down.
Yeah, and I'm sharing the DXY, so you guys can see what the DXY did. We had these ranges marked out. DXY shot way up, and so what that means for us is that the indices are more than likely going to push down. They're more than likely going to push down. So DXY is rising. Risk on for the dollar, risk off for metals and indices. So at this point, we can start looking at short opportunities. Denise, Billy, you guys want to pull up your chart, show us what you got?
Denise, do you want to go first?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
We're going to have Denise go first.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Ladies.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me share. All righty. So, what I kind of noticed this morning, I'll go to my mini Dow first. And I will say, after looking at MQ, NAS, I'm like almost falling out of love with Dow this week. But so what I noticed, I still have my my target areas. This yellow was the 1 hour target area. This was the 4 hour. Orange is the 4 hour target area. So for the Dow, I'm targeting down here by the 200 or possibly even below the 200 for, So this area on the 4 hour has the 50 and the 800 on the 4 hour. So I'm kind of anticipating us going into this zone. I'm just going to put a line here. Maybe no. Let me do this. Clone that and saying retest this area right here. Because we tested here, came down on the trend line there. So I think we'll at least get to here. On the lower time frames, we probably will retrace some. But before open, we might retrace some. But definitely looking at going down a little further on gold. That was a nice little spectacular move there. Broke through my 1 hour, and so heading down, I would say heading down to this level here at 23.18. And see, NAS is the funny one, right? If you look at NAS on the 4 hour versus, well, it's not really the funny one, but it's the structure of it is so different, right?
Yeah, it tends to do its own thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got a question for Tisha and Corey.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the big spikes from NFP? So you guys saw the way, as soon as the news came out, it jumped up, or actually went down. DXY went up. What were your thoughts on that? Like, how would you navigate something like that?
I would have stayed on the sidelines. Me personally, I don't. I wait. I wait till after it was definitely surprising. I didn't see it coming. I mean, you see it coming. You don't know if it's going to go left or right, and so you do anticipate a big spike. if you're on the wrong side of the spike, it can go really bad for your account. If you're on a good side of the spike, it can go well. But we knew that when we seen it go up, that the metals will go down, that's exactly what happened to our levels that we had already marked out. But me personally, I think this is a great time to either trade, for me, my demo account. And stay on the sideline, because I don't want to blow an account at just trying to, play Russian roulette with S&P Friday.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's great wisdom. Corey, what were your thoughts?
So I needed to hear the piece to when you all said that when that spike did occur, the effect that it's going to have on the other symbols. So one thing I know, or I'm not going to say I know, that I'm noticing is whenever something goes up, either very high or very low, it's going to go back the other way eventually. So I would wait until I see it creeping the other way and then take the ride up, because I know it's going to go the other way. That's what I've been noticing.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, there's always going to be a turnaround. It's just when the turnaround is going to come.
Yeah.
is the biggest thing. But this is, I think, Corey, your first NFP. I know, Tisha, you've looked at it and been on the sidelines a few times. But like we said, we've experienced NFP quite a bit, and our experiences have been, interesting. What we will always want to use news for, if you're going to be trading in a news environment, is to allow it to push to one of your levels, and then you look for entries at that point. So all news does is push the market. It's going to push it. Now, sometimes there can be some inconsistencies in the market, especially on a day like today, where it's like the market is still trying to figure out exactly what the news said. But yeah, definitely great answers from both of you guys, for sure.
For sure.
Will it always respond as big, even though the news is good?
With NFP, you're normally always going to see a spike one way or the other. If the news was bad, you would have saw the spike the other way. So, yeah. This is the big one monthly. Yeah.
And that just goes to show too, when you are trading, having a stop loss in place, because if you were trading there and you didn't have a stop loss and you were on the wrong side of that, just ouch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is anyone in any trades this morning?
Oh no.
No. I stayed out of the market because I just knew how that news could affect it.
No. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm trying to, operate with the right risk mentality. I'm not trying to give, as some of our friends would say, make a donation. I'm not trying to make any donations this morning. I need to hold on to all of my coins, every last one of them.
I agree.
How long do you guys give for it to settle out?
Normally, I would say like 9:30, but today we got 9 o'clock. Even though this is not a red folder, it's still news. So 9 o'clock, you're going to see some effect, at least on the lower time frames. It might not be it won't be a big move like 7:30 news, but on the lower time frames, you're going to see something around 9. Even when they speak and it's not the big boy, it's still going to be something at 11 and 2. So you can pretty much expect that. You're just going to have to, be careful. But normally, I think what have seen is like 9:30, 9:40, things kind of settle down. What do you think, Tarris?
No, I fully agree. 9:30. I'm just laughing at Tim Campbell over here.
Yeah, me too.
What's Tim saying?
Tim is definitely
in that shorts.
Tim said, yeah, we shouldn't trade this, right? Like he said, I may be in, but
okay. Okay, we already know. We already know. Tim, go on and tell us.
That is hilarious.
I may be in shorts with NQ. Not a maybe. Not a maybe, because we look.
Definitely a risk taker.
A risk taker, yes.
Tim's not on camera either, so he went in heavy. I know it.
Yes.
Man.
But, you know, Tim's got that experience and stuff too.
I think that's a good point to make. Like I said,
May was last month. Kamika.
Yeah.
May was last month. You're either in or you ain't.
That's
Tim.
a good one.
That is very
I love it. I love it.
I may or may not be. Oh yeah, I know. But I may or may not be in US 30 shorts.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. I'm not in anything right now, which is absolutely amazing. But you know,
I thought about getting in shorts with this tiny pullback that it had on a couple of these,
and that would have been a perfect place to take one too.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it would have been.
What I'm kind of looking at too, Dr. Denise, if you go to gold, at least on my chart, yeah, you've got the same chart. So if you look at where we had that initial drop and then it started curving up and then dropped again, where that support was at the bottom of that curve, there's a trend line there that I have. And so this news spiked it through. And so I was kind of looking for it to retrace back up to that area and use it as resistance to then try to catch a short. But I don't know if it's going to make it back up that far. I know gold will sometimes during a news event and it has a big push like this, it'll retrace back to its original starting point and then, continue back in the direction that it wants to go. So I was waiting for that, but it doesn't look like it's going to give us what I was anticipating because it's starting to move back down again.
Yeah, that one. I don't know if I can take that any further over. Oh yeah, okay. So kind of that right there.
That's what I have it too.
Yeah, and I think the August contract looks different than because I have just the regular.
I'm in the August contract.
Yeah,
this is August.
How are you guys switching to different months to trade?
We can, you can show them if you have a chance right now.
Okay, so if you're going to add something, let's just say NAS, you can go down and get the, you probably don't want the June contract, but maybe the September contract. You can pick it up if you use the caret on the side. And then you can add it from there.
Yeah. It looks like Michelle got in a gold trade.
Yes.
Awesome.
Listen, I am being out of character today, even with being in this trade. And it's dropped. I didn't go into any drawdown. I'm up $460. I didn't go in. I didn't go ahead.
Look, you must have muted your computer.
Sometimes it doesn't go off. I didn't mute anything. It just didn't.
You
make
did?
That. No.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't make that sound. So praise the Lord.
That sound is hilarious. It sounds like a casino with the little coins dropping.
Yep.
Yes.
We're gonna have to go back and watch the video. I'm sure Tarris did it when he did that, so we didn't hear the sound.
It'll make that order filled sound.
Yes. So Tarris, what words of wisdom do you have for us for the last? We got 12 minutes left for today. Yeah. What are you and Billy, Tisha? What are you guys gonna look at today? You want to share your screen? Anybody want to share?
Yeah, can I ask a question too? Can I go first real quick? Because I just have a question.
Yeah.
If someone can help. So I'm trying to use that new indicator for myself for that, what is it? The ASC trend here.
Yeah.
And so I have, can you see my screen? Am I sharing?
No, I've stopped sharing.
Let's try that. Let's see. Is that me?
Yep, that's you.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So I'm here on the 15-minute. I have my lines. My resistance and support is dropping down here to a trend line that I had drawn out. I have that new indicator here. Still learning what that means. These carrots with the red carrot and the green carrot, and how I should use that as a part of confluence. Does anyone use that ASC trend and how that can help us enter into trades?
You really want to watch. You have to, I won't say you have to, because that's not a good way to start out anything, but compare it with your TDI.
Okay.
And really, Tisha, it's going to take you studying and back testing, because if you look at when you're getting the signals and look at the other things you're using for confluence,
Yes.
that's how you're going to know when to enter.
Gotcha.
And be able to match up when you see these signals versus how your TDI, RSI, MACD, whatever you're using for confluence, that's how you're going to be able to kind of discern its movements and how it operates with your other indicators.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I would say, because
that's good.
Okay.
It's going to take some back testing. I think we all kind of maybe use it a little different, like anyone that's using it. But it is for confluence. Like when I first started using it, it was just extra confidence for me. Like, I've already have my trade idea. I've got my other levels of confluence, but then when that pops up as well, it's just like, okay, all right, that's almost like the last layer for me.
Right. And what I'm hearing from everyone is know why you're using the indicators, and you have to know, because we don't want Tim to put us on blast saying, so you're using it and you don't know why.
Exactly.
So,
okay, Mr. Clean Chart. Okay, Mr. Clean Chart. Like, do you think your chart is crowded?
Listen, so you asked me for words of wisdom and advice. One thing I will say is less is more. Especially when you're first starting to trade. I didn't start using indicators and all of those things right away because they can confuse you. It can get really, really confusing. If you start off with your basic things, you start off with your support and resistance. You start looking at structure, overall structure, overall trends, and you can trade really just that way. Then start to slowly add in your MAs and other indicators, but you have to have the foundation of trading, and you can't lean on the indicators so much, because if you don't have that foundation, and you're just leaning on the indicators, it's going to fool you. Like, trust and believe the indicators will fool you if you're not adding the foundation.
Right. Right.
So, like, they're extra. Like, it's like you got an extra cookie for lunch. Like that.
Right.
That's what the indicators are. But you have to understand the technicals of everything. And so I would almost suggest, if you're a new trader, remove the indicators. And this is just my advice. Remove the indicators and learn to understand how the market moves first. And then slowly add on those things. So, because you're like, I can only imagine if I was a new trader and I added all these indicators and you're seeing what everyone is using and you're like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, that's shiny. Ooh, that, like, it will crowd your chart.
And then I feel like it'll actually slow your progress as well. If you have too much on there and you're looking at everything and like you don't have the basics yet. So that is just my my advice.
That's my opinion as well. You have to train your eye. You have to train your eye for price action. Yes. You have to understand support and resistance. That's your key. And if you take them off and then you can understand that, you're simply just, I mean, you can add an indicator and use it as additional confluence, but not, not your primary trading method. That plain old fashioned support and resistance is going to, price action is going to help you every time. There's a book called Naked Trader, and they don't use, this guy does not use indicators. He just talks about training your eye, support and resistance. It's a good book. If anybody wants to look at it, you might even be able to find a PDF copy of it online. But he just talks about the simplicity of trading. And sometimes we overcomplicate things with adding indicators and more things, the latest thing. But really, it's very simple.
Less is more.
Less is more.
I agree with that, because there's no indicator that's going to be the holy grail where it's like, oh man, this thing's amazing and I can't lose. That's just not a thing. And I would also, recommend, like, when you're looking at your charts and you're adding indicators and support, resistance, trend lines and all that, like, if it starts to look cluttered and, you're just confused, delete everything off of your chart and start over and just simplify it. And, just look at everything again, because you may miss something that you're oversee something because your chart's cluttered enough that you just can't see it. And so I've done that, a lot of times too. At the beginning of the week, I'll delete everything off of my charts and I'll start back over with my analysis, and just kind of see where price is at, currently. Because you can have a trend line or support resistance that's a great spot and it'll help you out for weeks. But you start to add so many things on there. It's like, well, I don't need this trend line on here anymore. I don't need this support or resistance line on here anymore, because it's not, price isn't right here. It's not important at this time. So let's just get it off the chart so that it's just one less thing that my eye is looking at, so that I can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, that's good. It's back to the basics. Like I said, you can't really skip steps. Now, in this group, we have been through the trials and the tribulations of trading. We have made the mistakes, and we'll give advice for sure. And you guys will avoid a lot of the missteps that we actually had to walk through. But you still can't skip the basics at all. And so you have to go back to the basics, slow down a little bit, and make sure you're understanding those foundational things. I did put the link for the book, the Amazon link. I've got that in our chat. That is actually a book I have not read, but I know I've heard you talk about it, Denise, and I knew about the book, so I will do that for sure.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think about too is, back when I first started looking at the charts, Tarris and I, our desks when we were working together were right next to each other. So we were talking about it all the time. It's like, man, I think it's going to do this. I think it's going to do that. But we were on the 5-minute chart, no indicators, nothing on it. It was literally a naked chart, and we were demo trading and practicing and stuff. And, we were doing pretty good with it. And we had some really good days. And it was one of those where, as I started learning a strategy and adding indicators and everything, like, it just, like, everything fell through like hard. It was like, I felt like the more I was learning, the worse I was doing with trading, because I didn't understand everything yet. It was one of those, like, So you kind of have to get through that period of, start at the basics, start looking at an indicator, understand that indicator, then you can add something else and start being able to put the puzzle pieces together to be able to make those good trades and stuff. So, there's a learning curve to it. And, sometimes you will get to that point where it's, I feel like I'm losing the more that I learn because you're just overcomplicating it. At least that was for me. So anybody that's struggling, hang in there, you got this.
Yeah. And anytime, I know for all of us, anytime we go in a slump, we will go back to the beginning. And because when you're losing trades and you go on a losing streak, which is inevitable, it happens. Most of the time you're missing something. There's something that you're missing. And if you have a checklist for why you take a trade, and you follow that to the T, that will help you not miss things. Because I know for me, I used to be very systematic with how I'm taking a trade, what I'm looking at. And then I got to a point where I don't really need to look at this 4 hour, or I don't really need to look at this 8 hour chart. I'm just going to work from 1 hour down or 30 minutes down. That will work sometimes. And other times, not so much. We have a question in the chat. Judy says, would you recommend trading lower time frames for beginners? That's a tough question. Personally, I think start with the higher time frame. What you will eventually understand is the higher time frames and the lower time frames, overall structure, they're doing similar things. So if you can read it on the higher time frames, eventually you'll really be able to understand, how quickly it's moving on the lower time frames. I personally started higher. I think we all did because of trading Forex and how we were trading. I feel like that definitely helped. It helped sharpen your eye because on the higher time frames, things are moving a lot slower. Mm-hmm. Once you get to the lower time frames, especially 1 minute, 30 seconds, it's really, really fast. And so I'd say start with the higher.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. When we started with Forex, we started looking at the day, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and a lot of our trades were based on that 4 hour time frame.
Yes.
You've got to learn structure. I mean, you've got to see how price is moving, and you're not gonna get the good moves if you're talking about doing a little longer, trading more than like 5 minutes on the lower time frames. You want a block of time where you're going to see structure.
Yes.
You're going to look at, as Tim says, top-down analysis. You'll understand how price is moving, structure your support and resistance. But starting at those higher time frames is a must. I wouldn't suggest anybody go lower than the 1 hour, the 30 minute to look at structure, because you're not going to get true structure there. You're going to get minor structure.
And Tim, I see your comment. I know what you're referencing. Structure 1 minute ? I know what you're talking about, Tim. I know. I was going to ignore what you said, but no. 1 minute, yes. So I'm not even gonna go there because we're talking to the new friends right now.
Exactly.
Well,
yes. Tarris, we are at time, so I don't know if you're gonna hang out a little bit longer, but I think our first Friday and new friends went really well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it did too. Well. And I was going to say something about Denise's chart here, because this is a great example of, looking at those higher time frames before even jumping down to the lower ones, because like we've got these two levels, one resistance, one support here. And if you're not looking at a high enough time frame, you're not going to be able to see that structure there, to be able to know, where price is at and what movements it's going to make. And, those higher time frames are going to show you that zone, or the support resistance levels. And then that's how you can kind of go down from there, to be able to say, once we hit that support level, we could see, we had that trend coming up back to a resistance level. Then it came back down. Looks like it's coming down to a support level. So if you can not pinpoint, but, mark out zones where the support resistance is, and then those lower time frames is kind of how you figure out how it's going to get there. And use that. So it's kind of a combination of the higher time frames mixed with the lower time frames to get the overall sense of direction on the higher time frames, and then use the lower ones to like get your entries and stuff to carry it to a certain point. And trend is your friend when you're trading. So if you could get the overall sense of direction on the higher time frame, create that bias when you jump to those lower time frames. All right, I'm looking for sells, or I'm looking for buy opportunities because I know that it's heading this direction. But if you start on too low of a time frame, you're not going to get that, and it's going to be a little bit harder to see.
No, that's definitely good. One last thing I do see, Judy, you said you use structure on higher time frames and entries on lower time frames. That's perfect. But she said it seems like there are more scalping opportunities in lower time frames. There are. Like those are very quick moves on the lower time frames. I don't know how people feel about starting as a scalper. I personally, starting as a scalper when you haven't sharpened your eyes yet on the higher time frames, that's going to be a little tough. I think there's a natural progression to it. Once you understand overall structure and price action, and then add a few indicators, and you're back testing, then I say you can move down to the lower time frames and really start scalping. But we are at time. It is 8:05. We said this is going to be a power hour. We are at a power hour and 5 minutes. So I'm going to let everyone go. If you have more questions, especially for our advancers, you can go to the Advancer Lab, ask the questions that you have. We'll be there to respond to them. If you have questions that you want to put in the chat here, we can always come back and respond to those as well. But I appreciate all of you coming. I had old friends, new friends, associates. Like we had
Cousins.
We had cousins, yeah. We had a whole party this morning. So I appreciate y'all coming on. And, there's a possibility we may do this again. All right, we got to go. Bye.
Denise has a word. Hold on.
Wait a minute. So, Tarris, because, it would be unlike us, right, to just end without prayer, right? We didn't do a devotional this morning, but can you pray us out, please?
Absolutely. Denise, that's why, we're here. Father, I thank you.
Yes, God.
I thank you for everyone that is on this live. I thank you for everyone that is associated with us. Father, I pray that you continue to give us wisdom, oh God.
Yes, God.
And I pray that you give us the ability to apply the wisdom that you bring to us, Father. We know wisdom doesn't mean anything without application, Father. So give us even the wisdom to apply what's coming to us, Father. I pray that you keep us humble, oh God. I pray that you keep us all at a level of being servants first in everything we do, Father. I know and we know that you have plans for us that are bigger than we can imagine, Father. And so I pray, even with those plans, that we walk out every single step.
Yes, God.
And that we're not looking to skip steps, but we know that there's a process to everything you do, and that we embrace that process. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. See, that's the way we flow into the weekend to carry us to Monday. Yes. So awesome time with you guys, Advancers.
Yeah. It was great.
It was good. Well, and Tisha and Corey, thanks for coming on and kind of stepping out of that comfort zone, putting yourself out there to join us. It was really cool having you guys on today, and looking forward to doing it again.
Thank you all for your wisdom. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
You too.